we saw some of the properties of the object, like returning objects from the functions. Objects are mutable, and object of one class is made as an attribute for object of another class. So in today's class, we'll just be looking into some more properties or the concepts related to the objects and classes. So the first thing we'll see about the copying of the objects. The second one, once again, we'll see with the classes and function. So coming to this classes and functions, actually, these functions are not so important when we consider with respect to the object-oriented concepts of Python. But since it is given in the syllabus, so I'll be covering about the topic that is classes and function. So all the important topics, the most important topics of the Python is what we start from the next class, that is classes and methods. So coming to today's class, okay, coming to the first one, that is the copying. So an object will be aliased whenever there is an object assigned to another object of the same class. For an example, suppose you are going to define a class, and for that class you are going to create an instance. Fine. So that instance will be having an instance attributes. Now suppose you want to just create the exact copy of the same object. Then that can be done either by using any one of these three methods. The first one is the direct object assignment. The second one is when an object is passed as an argument to the function, it is also doing the copying operation. When an object is returned from the function, again it is doing something related to the copying operation. Now, if I just consider an example like this, I'll create a class called circle. To this, I'll include a class attribute, something like pi value as to calculate the area of the circle. So 3.14. Now, after this, coming to this, what I'll do, I'll create an instance of the class. I'll consider C1 equals to, okay, I'm going to create an instance of the class that is circle. After creating an instance, I'll define an instance attribute for the object C1 as something like radius. With some value, I'll give it as 20. Fine. After that, if I just do, okay, print C1, you can see, okay, this print C1, it is going to return telling that the type is an object type along with what? The address of the memory location. So this is what the output you can see. Fine. Now what I want to do is I want to just create one more instance C2, fine, which is similar to what the instance that is C1, fine. But once again, this C2 must be of what type? That is for the class that is circle. So C2 equals to, once again, create an instance that is C2, fine, but it has to have all the attributes, instant attributes that are present where now, that are present in C1 equals to circle. Now, instead of telling C2 equals to circle and create an instance, what we can do is, fine, just check here, C2, create this C2 as an instance of which one now, that is C1. Fine. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using an assignment operator, copying this C1 to C2. Fine. After this, just check here, print followed by what? C2. Fine. If I just run here, can you see here? Again, it is a main. Okay. Once again, belongs to which class? The circle class. Once again, the type is what? The object. Once again, the address is, or the memory is allocated. Now, coming to this, now here, even C2 is what we are doing here? Direct object assignment. This is what we have done here. So direct object assignment, it is nothing but we are copying an object, okay, to another object of which one? Of the same class. Now, if you just look into this thing here, the address of this and the address of this are same. Correct. So the address of this, okay, that is the object C1, the location. Again, the object C2, the memory location address, they are the same. It is nothing but even C1 is an instance of the circle, C2 is also an object of which one? A circle, but C1 and C2, they are assigned with the same memory location. Fine. So we have not created a second object of which one? A circle. This is an object, but this object is sharing what? The same memory location of which one now? C1. Fine. So actually, when we consider this, there is no point having this type of object sharing what? The same memory location of the previous object. Suppose this object C2 must have some more attributes which are not necessary to be shared by which one? C1. Then definitely C2 must have what? A different memory location. Fine. Now how to change this? It is nothing but how to allocate a different memory location to C1 and different memory allocation to C2. Fine. So this can be done by using a method that is called as copy method. Fine. So we are doing an assignment operation here. Okay. So one object is assigned to another object, whereas coming to this copy, this is going to make a copy of an object, but not an alias. It is not an exact copy of the object, but copy of the object, it is nothing but it is going to copy this object belongs to which class, what all the attributes or the instance attributes even this class or this object can access. So but it is nothing but what this copy method, it is not going to provide what the same memory location for the objects. Now if you just consider the same example, I'll take the same example. Fine. Now instead of using C2 equals to C1, fine, what I'll do is I'll use what the copy method. Fine. Now to this copy method, we need to import a package by the name that is called as import followed by what? Copy. Fine. After doing this, I want to create this object that is C2 equals to C1. Fine. Now if that is the case, okay, fine. Now once again, previous to this one, fine, if I just check whether these two objects are same, okay, just check it with print of C1 equals to C2. Fine. It is nothing but run. You are going to get was it is true. It is nothing but the object C1, it is almost similar to which one? The object C2. Fine. And this can also be checked by using one more operator that is called as is operator. Again, you can check, you will be getting the same output. The output is what? That is true. But whenever I just create or copy one object to another object, fine, this should not be equal. It is nothing but they should have a different memory location to perform some operation. So that can be done by using what operation now? That is copy operation. Fine. Now I want to create an object C2, okay, of similar to that of what? C1. Fine. Just use it by using copy dot once again copy to this, pass the parameter. What is the parameter? That is C1. Fine. Copy the object C1 by using which one? By the package copy, and once again make C2 as what? Similar to the object of C1. Fine. After doing this, just run your program. Can you see here the address of these two are different? You can see the last one here, it is BC8, here it is C08. Whereas previous one, you can see here the memory location is same for both the objects. So it is 55748, even here it is 55748. But here, okay, it has been assigned with different memory location. C1 is having the memory location that is with BC8 and C2 is having the memory location that is C08. Now check whether these two objects are same or not. So just check with print, okay, C1 equals to C2. Just check, you should get the answer as false. Can you see here now? You can see the answer as what? False. But I am doing with assignment operator. These two objects are exactly the same. Fine. Just it is similar, something like giving a different name to which object now? C1. Whereas here it is not the case. Here we are creating two objects C1 and C2, where C2 is similar to which one? C1. It is nothing but this C2 is having all the instance attributes or the methods that we are defining can be once again used by which one now? That is your object C2. Fine. So this is what we are going to check. You can also use is operator and check, you will get the same answer as what? That is false. Fine. Now whenever we are doing here, I think when we took up the previous class, we saw how an object of one class can be used as what? An object of, or an attribute of one object can be used as a class of or an object of another object. Now coming to this, fine, if I'll take the same example now. Fine, Control C, then once again followed by this one. Now we are import copy class circle C1 is equal to what? Circle C1 is with radius, that is something like 20. Now I'll add one more class, okay, something like class point. It is just for an example, okay, something like class point. Fine, I'll give it as pass. I'm not going to define anything. It is an empty class. Now to this, whatever the property we just went through in the previous class, the same thing I'll be doing. Okay, C1 dot corner. Okay, it is nothing but the attribute of this object fine, is made as an object of which one now? The class point. Fine. So your c1 dot radius is equals 20, c1 dot corner equals to what? That is point. Fine. Now again just print c1, you can see the address will be allocated. Now if you want to just check, okay, whether this c1 dot corner belongs to which one, the point class or the circle class, you can just check it by using one more method that is called as an isInstance method. Fine. So isInstance, nothing but I'll check whether c1 dot corner is an instance of which class, the point class. So that can be done by using what? Once again a function by the name or a method by the name isInstance, that is followed by, okay, I need to check which one, this one, that is this object, okay, that is c1 dot corner is an object of which class now? The point class. Just use what? That is point. Okay, just run it. You can see the output as what? That is true. It is nothing but this c1 dot corner. It is an object of which class now? That is your object, that is point. Fine. Again, if you want to just check whether this c1 dot is also what? Once again, okay, an object of the class circle. You can check here it is false, because c1 is what? An instance of which class? The circle. But c1 dot corner is an instance of which class? That is your point class. So this can be checked by using which one now? That is your isInstance method. So once again give the name of the object followed by the class. If this object is an instance of this class, then it is going to return true. Otherwise it is going to return what? That is false. Fine. Now whenever I am using, fine, an attribute of one object, fine, as an object of another class, fine. Now if I just perform once again the copying operation, it is going to, okay, act in a different way. Fine. It is not going to work in a similar way as this previous example, telling that c1 equals to c2, that is false. Now you can see here, fine, after c1 dot corner I'll create, that is c2 equals to, I'll use the copy method, okay, copy dot copy. Fine. After doing what? Copy dot copy, I'm going to create a class of which type? That is of this type. So c2 equals to copy dot copy, okay, c1 dot fine, see, copy dot copy similar to this object, run it. So an object is created. If you want to just print, okay, print followed by what? c2. Fine. Again what? It is going to create c2 as an object at this memory location. Now after this, now just check, fine, if you are considering c2 as an object, even this c2 can have what? c2 dot radius equals to 20. Even this c2 can have what? c2 dot corner. Okay, if I just any points, fine, of the corner. Now you just check here whether this c1 dot corner equals to c2 dot of corner. Now just check, okay, c2 dot corner, okay, equals to which one? That is c1 dot corner. Fine. Now just run it. You can see point object has no, okay, c2 dot corner, okay, just a second. So c2 equals to copy dot copy of okay, just a sorry, so just make it as c2 as copy dot copy of c1 and run it. You can see it is showing what? It is true. Okay, which should not happen, because here this object and this object must be different, so it has to return what? That is true. Fine. So whenever we are creating the objects of this type, fine, then once again, okay, copying one object to another object is going to act in a different way, whereas when taken with what? The previous example. So here what we'll do is, instead of doing just c2 equals to copy dot copy, we'll be using one more method that is called as deep copy. Fine. So when we use this, when I just use again print c1 dot corner equals to c2 dot corner, you can see you are going to get an answer what that is false. It is nothing but this object is completely different from which one, that is this object. So what we'll do is c2 equals to copy equals to c1. Now again, if I just create one more, that is c3 equals to copy dot, which is the one that is deep copy, then followed by I'm copying with what similar to the object c1. Fine. If that is the case, once again just print c3. Fine, it is going to create an object. You can see here creating an object with different memory location. Now just check with print which one now, that is c1 dot corner equals to equals which to now c3, that is corner. Now you can see it has to return what is the answer now, that is false. You can see it is returning what, that is false. Fine. So this is how actually we'll be using a deep copy method as well as which one, the copy method. And once again the aliasing can be done by using what, the assignment operator, that is using equal operator. Fine. So this is how an object of 1 can be copied as an object 2, or it can be made as another object by using which one, either by using the assignment operator or with what, the copy operation, and also with deep copy operation. But once again there is a difference between the copy and the deep copy, and once again using these two methods with which one now, that is your assignment operator. Now moving to the next, fine, coming to this classes and functions. So we have already seen what actually the classes are, and you already know what is a function. A function is nothing but what, some part of a code or some statements of the code that is going to perform some particular task. Fine. So whenever we consider the classes and functions, fine, we have two different types of classes and functions. The one, it is called as pure function. The second one, it is called as what, modifiers. Fine. With respect to the classes and functions, so these functions can be of two types. The first one, they are called as what, pure function. The second one, they are called as what, modifiers. Fine. So this is not much an important topic when it comes to the object oriented programming in Python, but since it is in the syllabus, I'm covering that. Fine. Now coming to this pure function, so what actually this pure function does is, this pure function takes objects as an arguments. I think in the first class and the second class you people saw how to take an object as an argument. So pure function takes an object as an argument, fine, and does some work. Fine. Taking those arguments as an input, that particular function is going to perform some task without modifying any of the original argument. Fine. It is nothing but whatever the arguments we are inputting, after performing the operation by that function is not going to affect or change which one, these arguments value. Those type of functions, they are called as what, pure functions. Fine. Whereas coming to the next type of function, we have a function by the name that is called as modifier function. As the name itself tells, modify. So this modifier function modifies what, the original argument, that is once again passed as an input to which one, the function that is defined. Fine. So this is how these two functions are different. The first one, it is called as pure function. The second one, it is called as what, modifiers. Fine. Now to just demonstrate these two different types of function. Fine. So here we have considered an example to demonstrate what it is of, what is a pure function and how it is different from which one, the modifiers or modifier function. Now coming to this, I'll take this example to demonstrate these two. So you can see here an example of creating. So here example of creating what, a class called time. So what is the first thing? I need to create a class that is called as what, that is time. Fine. An object of the class time contains how many attributes now? 3 attributes. One is hour, minutes, and second as what, attributes. Fine. After this, what they have asked is write a function to print time, in which one, in the format hour, minutes, and seconds. So once again I need to write what, a separate function to print what, the time. Fine. And another function, I need to define one more function. What is the function now? To add 2 time objects. Fine. It is nothing but I need to create an instance of time. How many instances now? 2 instances, because here I need to define one more function. What is the function now? That is define a function to add 2 time objects. Okay, note that adding two time objects, okay, should yield proper result, and hence we need to check whether the number of seconds exceeds 60, minutes exceeds 60, and so on, and take appropriate action. Fine. So this is an example. Once again, by taking this example, okay, once again we will revisit all the properties of the objects and the classes. Along with this, we will see how this pure function can be differentiated from the modifiers. Fine. So let's start doing the program. So first they have asked that we need to create a class by the name what, that is time. Fine. So in this I'll give, okay, so you need to print in which format now. It should consist of hour, then minutes, then followed by what, that is okay, excuse. So this is actually, it is called as what, this is your doc string. So whenever you want to print this doc string, what you need to do, you need to print it by using which one now, print, okay, then time dot underscore doc followed by underscore. Fine. If you want, I'll print that also. So just give print. Fine. So what is the class name? It is time dot, fine, two underscores followed by the attribute dog followed by what, that is dog. Just run it. You can see whatever the documentation is done after defining the class, it is printed there by using an attribute that is called as underscore dog followed by underscore. Fine. Now after this, what they have asked, okay, an object of class time contains hour, minutes, and seconds. So once again, how many objects we need to create? Two objects, because we need to add two time objects here. So what I'll do, I'll create first an instance, okay, T1, which is an instance of which one, that is time. Along with that, I'll create one more T2 equals to, once again, instance of which one, that is time. Fine. Now each of these attributes or an object, each of these objects, that is T1 and T2, must have what, hour, minutes, and seconds. So what I'll do, I'll create an instance attribute T1 equals to, I'll give hour equals to some value, that is 5. Next, T1 dot, okay, minutes, okay, equals to something as 40 minutes. Then once again, T1 dot, okay, seconds seconds equals to, okay, something like 50. Fine. Now in similar way, what I'll do, I'll consider T2. In this T2, again I need to create three instance attributes. One is T2 dot, okay, hour equals to, I'll take it as 4. Then T2 dot, fine, what is the next one, that is, okay, so minutes, which is equal to, I'll take it as something like 25. Then once again T2 dot, okay, seconds, I'll take it as what, once again, something what, that is 20. Fine. So I created two objects which are instance of which one, the class time, and also the instant attributes of T1 and also the instance attributes of T2. Fine. Now in the question they have specified that I need to print the time in which format, HH, MM followed by SS, that is hour, minutes, and seconds. Fine. If you want to just give, you can just give it here as 05. Then once again, if you want 05. Okay, if you want to print it, I'll remove this. Fine. Now coming to this, I need to define function. So define a function. So define it. Fine. Then after defining, I need to define print followed by what, that is time. I'm defining the name of the function as print underscore time. So in this, I need to print in which format, HH, MM, and SS. So I'll be using the string format to print the string. So I'll give percentage followed by 2D. It is nothing but after, okay, whatever the number I have, it has to be replaced with how many digits, 2 digits. Then once again, after that, it must be followed by colon, okay, that is a particular format. Then once again give okay, percentage, okay, then followed by point, then once again D, then once again colon, this is the particular format, then percentage, once again dot 2D. Fine. After this, just give what, the percentage symbol. Then fine, to this print function, fine, I need to print what now, that is hour, time, and minutes. So what I'll do, I'll do hour, T dot hour, fine, followed by T dot minutes, then followed by T dot seconds. Fine. Sorry. Print this, you take it. Okay, so print function then followed by this. Now since I am using t here, fine, so this function has to be once again given with some, okay, the argument. So what I'll do, I'll call the print function here. So print followed by, sorry, print underscore time. Okay, I need to print the time of which one, that is t1. So I'll pass this as an argument to which one, to this function. So if this I am passing here, this t1 exact alias or the copy of t1 is been made here. Fine, here if you just take t1 and t2, they are same. It is something like similar to what, assignment operation. So t1 equals to t. Fine, so here what, this t1 will be taken here, so this will be replaced with t1. So t1 dot hour, then this will be replaced with t1 dot minutes, then followed by t1 dot seconds. In the similar way, what I'll do, I'll give print, okay, underscore once again followed by time. Now I need to just pass what, that is t2. Fine, so what I'm doing here, I created two objects, then the instance attributes for these two objects, then finally defined a print function to print what, this time. Can you see here? Okay, t1 and t2 are printed here in this particular format. Now the first function is over. The next thing we are supposed to do is what, we need to write another function to add two time objects. Fine, so it is nothing but it has to add this object, okay, that is our this hour plus this hour, this with this, then this with this. Fine, now what we'll do, we'll start defining a function. Fine, so define, okay, function, I'll take it as add underscore time, and we'll see what are the parameters that has to be passed. Fine, in this I'll take one variable, okay, sum. I'll make this as an object of which one, that is time. Fine, because I'm representing or demonstrating what, fewer functions takes objects as arguments and does some work without modifying any original argument. Fine, to perform or to demonstrate this function, I'm creating one more object, that is sum, okay, which is an instance of which class now, that is time. Fine, after this what I'll do here, so I need to once again, this is also what now, this is of an object of which one, class t. Now I need to add t1 dot hour with t2 dot hour, t1 dot minutes with t2 dot minutes, t1 dot seconds with t2 dot seconds. So what I'll do, I'll create sum dot hour, which is an instance attribute of which one now, that is your sum, which is equal to t1 dot hour plus t2 dot hour. Fine, after this what I'll do, just sum dot minutes, sorry, okay, equals to, then once again t1 dot minutes plus t2 dot minutes. Fine, then once again sum dot seconds equals to, okay, once again t1 dot seconds, then once again plus t2 dot. Fine, after that what I'll do, I'll return now. Here when you see here, fine, I'm returning a sum, which is nothing but I'm returning an object. Fine, once again here I need to call a function. Now I need to perform the add of time. To that what I need to do, I need to call this function. So I'll call this function add, okay, then once again what is the name of the function, add underscore time, okay, add underscore time. Fine, which two objects, that is t1 and t2. So I'm passing here the objects as an what, the arguments. Fine, I'm passing the objects as an argument to this function. So here also there must be how many arguments, there must be two arguments. Passing, okay, the objects as what, an arguments here, then taking this arguments as an input and performing the operation, and once again I'm returning what now, an object. So whatever I'm returning, I'm just storing here something like sum underscore time, which is equal to this. Fine, finally after returning what, the object value, I need to print the time. So just print. Fine, I need to print once again by calling which function, print underscore time. So print underscore time, I need to once again pass which one, sum underscore time, which is again an object. So I'm sending object as what, an argument. So sum underscore what, that is time. Fine. So just run this, you can see, okay, this thing has been added up. So you can see 5 plus 4 is 9, 40 plus is 65, 50 plus 20 is 70. But is these two are correct? Fine. So when we take up minutes, the minutes is only how much now? It is only 60 minutes. Then once again second, 60 seconds. Fine. If this second is exceeding, what will happen is subtract this value with what? Minus 60 and add 1 to which one? 2 minutes. Now if this minute is exceeding what? Greater than 60, then subtract this value with what? Minus 60, then add 1 to which one now? That is hour. Fine. So this is how it is going to give what? The exact hour, minutes and seconds. So that is what they are telling. Now hence we need to check whether the number of seconds exceeds minutes, 60 minutes or 60 seconds and so on. Fine. Now before I take up that, here whatever the function I am using here, add underscore time, this function it is called as a pure function. Because what is pure function is, it takes objects as an arguments. So it is taking objects as an arguments, then after taking an objects of an arguments, it does some work. So it is doing some work, and finally, okay, it is not modifying any original argument. Fine. It is not modifying the values or the original values of which two objects, t1 and t2. Even after doing, okay, this operation t1 plus t2, t1 plus t2 and so on, the values of t1 dot hour, t1 dot minutes and t1 dot seconds and similar to object t2, these values are not changed. It remains the same. You can see here, okay, if I have done some modification here telling that t1 dot hour plus equals to t1 dot hour plus t2 dot hour, then after that if I just execute this, okay, here the t1 dot hour value is been rechanged with which one now? That is 9. Fine. Since this is not modifying any of the values of the objects which is sent as an argument to this function, so these type of function they are called as what? Pure function. Fine. Now we'll look into what actually the modification that has to be made. What I have told, if, okay, if sum dot, okay, seconds, okay, is greater than or equal to 60. Fine. If sum dot seconds is greater than or equal to 60, what we need to do now? We need to modify the value of seconds and minutes. So what will happen now? Sum dot seconds, okay, minus of equals to, okay, equals to what I need to do? I need to do it minus with 60. Which one? The seconds. Then sum dot minutes. Fine. I need to increment with how much now? That is 1. That is increment minutes with how much? That is 1. If seconds is greater than 60. Fine. Now after that, in the similar way, what I need to do now? Fine. If, fine, sum dot minutes is greater than or equal to 60. What I need to change now? I need to change with minutes and hours. So it is sum dot minus, okay, equals to, I need to do which how much? That is 60. Then once again sum dot hour, fine, equals to, it is nothing but I need to increment with how much? 1. So equals to 1. Similar to, okay, I'll write this here, similar of what? So, okay, something like sum dot seconds, fine, equals to sum dot minus 60. Similar, this operation I have written is what? By using what? This operator, that is minus equals to plus equals to. This is something like sum dot seconds equals to sum dot seconds, okay, okay, something like plus 1. Okay, that is what these two operators are performing. Fine. Now after doing this, just once again I'll run the program. Can you see here now? Fine. Before it was showing how much now? 40 plus 25 is something 65, and this is 70. But now you can see here 50 plus 20 is how much now? That is 70. So 70 minus 60 is 10. So 10 is printed, 1 is added here. Then again operation performed, 1 is added here. So 10 followed by 6 minutes followed by 10 seconds. So that is what they have told to perform the operation. Fine. Now here whatever we have defined this function, so this function it is called as what? Pure function. Fine. Now to demonstrate, okay, one more type of function, that is modifiers. Fine. So what I'll do, I'll take one more function which is an instance of time t3, fine, where time t3 I'll just copy exactly similar to which one now, that is time t1. So what I'll do copy followed by copy, then followed by which one now, that is t1, that is t1. Fine. After that what I'll do now, t3 equals to copy dot copy of t1, then once again followed by this. Okay, I'll print underscore what, time, fine, of which one now, again I've just done t3. Fine, so just give t3. Fine, now I'll give one more printf statement. Okay, printf, I'll give before modification. Fine, so just print it, I'll print t3. So just run it, copy. Okay, why? Because I'm not imported here what, the copy function. So just import what is the package name, that is copy, that is what it is showing. Okay, print, so print underscore time, and once again it is printf. Okay, fine, just run it now. Can you see here, this time and this time are same. Fine, now what we'll do is we'll define one more function that is going to modify the values of this, that is 5, 40 and 50. Fine, so here what I'll do, I'll define some function. Fine, I'll define modifier underscore time. Fine, now to this what I'll do is, fine, I'll call that function. So modify okay underscore time. Fine, to this I'll pass t3, that is the values of the objects t3. Here t3 is having the exact values of which one, t1. You can see here 5, 40 followed by 50. Then I'll update these values with some seconds. Fine, here I'm doing addition here, just I'm going to add some values of seconds to this seconds. After adding this, if it is exceeding greater than 60, affect this minutes. If it is exceeding greater than 60, change the which one, that is hour is what this function is going to do. Fine, so just give it. Then here what I'll do, fine, I'll give t3 dot, okay, seconds plus equals to, okay, some. Fine, so here what I'll do, whatever the seconds I'm passing, I'll pass with some values. I'll take some value, something like, what is the value here, it is 50. I'll do it is with what, 20. So here again I'm passing what, t3 as an argument. Along with this I'll pass what, one more variable, that is seconds. So this t3 takes the value 5, 40 and 50. Then this seconds, okay, I'm calling that by passing what is the value, that is 20. So first what I'm doing, t3 dot seconds, for this 50 I'm adding which value, the seconds value. Fine, after this what I'm doing, I'm just checking if, okay, t3 dot seconds is greater than or equal to 60. Fine, what I need to do now, t3 dot seconds minus equals to 60. Then t3 dot minutes, okay, so plus equals to how much, that is 1. Fine, then after that what I'm doing now, again if, okay, then t3 dot minutes greater than or equal to 60. What I need to do now, then once again t3 dot, okay, minutes minus equals to 60. Then t3 dot hour plus equals to 1. Fine, so this is what the operation we are supposed to do. Now I've done these two operations. Then after doing this, just run this. Fine, you can see here before t3 it is 50, 40 and 50. Also this I'm not printing here. So what I'll do, I'll give, okay, print, okay, after to check which value now, t3 value. After t3 once again call the function print underscore time function, okay, and pass here which one now, that is object t3. Fine, now just run this. Can you see here now, before t3 it is 50, 40 and 50. After t3 it is 5, 41 and 10. Fine, it is nothing but if you just print Okay, now print, okay, t3 dot some seconds. Fine, you can see the original value 50 has been modified with new value. What is the value now? That is 10. So can you see here, it is modified, that is 10. So what we are doing here, whatever we are passing the object as an argument, okay, the value of this object has been modified when it is passed as an argument to some function. So this type of function, they are called as what? Modifiers. Fine. So that is how they have differentiated these two functions. One is the pure function, the second one is the modifiers. Fine. So this is what is doing here. I just use the copy operation. Then once again, I'm performing what? Some modification to the seconds. I'm doing this operation by calling this function. Finally, I'm printing. You can see the values of the original object T3 has been permanently modified to which one? 5, 41 and 10. Fine. Whereas when it comes to the add time function here, fine, here I'm not modifying the values of the arguments, that is passed as an input to the function defined. So hence here add time or add underscore time function, it can be considered as what? Pure function. Whereas this so which is the other function? Modify, that is mod underscore time, it is considered as what? Modifier function. Fine. So actually this is what all about